What is up, everyone? Welcome to a very special episode of the AOS Trash Panda podcast. I'm your host, Rob, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Carson. How's it going, Carson?
Going pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm very excited for tonight because we have a very special guest. The creator of the Saga of Six campaign. We have Darren McInnes. How's it going, Darren?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. This is going to be really fun. So we're going to be talking about this campaign that we're doing tonight. We're going to go, pretty much right into it. We're not even going to, there was no point in doing the Tuesday preview thing because it's clearly 40K and no one cares about 40K. It's all about Age of Sigmar nowadays. All the cool kids are playing it. So yeah, we're basically just going to be talking about this campaign. We've got videos to show. We've got sort of, what's it called? Stuff that was, that inspired us and whatnot. And a lot of that kind of thing coming up. I hope everyone's excited. Darren, I know I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, but would you mind kind of telling everyone how this whole thing came about? Because this was your idea.
Sure, yeah. I guess, have you brought this up on the channel before yet? Oh, I can't remember.
We haven't, it was so, because as you know, we've been planning this for, I mean, you came to me, about a year ago, I think.
It's been a year, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
And so it was kind of, we filmed a lot of the content for this, a long time ago. Most of the content for it was filmed, about at least 6 months ago. The interviews and stuff like that we will be showing the preview interview thing of was January, I want to say, of this year.
Yeah, it was winterish.
It was definitely cold out. Yeah. So anyway, so we haven't, it's a clean slate.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is, a year ago, with the new edition of AOS 4.0 coming out around that time period, I wanted to bring in a new army for myself for AOS, right? And I wasn't signed up for any tournaments. I wasn't ready to go for anything, but I always need motivation to do to finish an army, to get it fully painted and everything. And basically, I didn't have any events scheduled for it, and I was trying to figure out a way that I could get myself going for this. So what I was going to do was just throw it out to our local game club and be like, hey guys, does anybody want to do this kind of fun little thing where we build, kind of slow grow league, and we can work on a few things, whatever, build up our mini games. It's kind of like the old Tale of Four Gamers that Games Workshop used to have in their White Dwarf magazine. And then I thought about it. It's like, hey, it'd be really fun to actually do something like a Tale of Four Gamers. And as I was thinking about that, that's where I was like, hey, Rob, this might be kind of fun to have on your channel if you're up for it. And
yeah,
Rob, you were super keen to go for it.
Yeah. I used to read this article that I've got on screen right now. Is literally that's the only one. I think it's the only one I read. I might have read one later on, but this has this man right here, Roy Barber. See this handsome devil right here? Oh, you can't see my mouse for some reason. Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. Yeah. The guy making the really, really intelligent face in that picture is, man, he straight up though, he was very inspiring to me, or this article was in general, right. So it was somewhat formative for me. It kind of introduced the idea of creating your own narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're not doing this specifically, but for some reason, I really like the idea of a budget. It's almost like an old game show where it's you've got this much money, you know what I mean? Well, and you can use it however you want, but
when I first saw these articles, I was in high school. I had a job where I was making $200 a week on it, right? I was barely enough to afford any Warhammer, right?
Yeah, that's true. Although that gets you a lot more back then.
Well, but yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, the starter sets were $100 back then. Right? Yeah.
But basically my paycheck would always go to a Games Workshop every time.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks in the store and just spending everything, right?
Yeah.
But the idea of the this system where you start at a low level and you slowly build up your army and you paint it as you go along with it. Because honestly, I have a problem keeping focus on stuff. I jump all over the place. I see the next cool little thing I need to jump paint that thing up, right?
Speaking to the choir.
Yeah, so like having this one thing to focus on at a time and to slowly be able to build it. It's okay, I want to move to the next level. I got to finish painting this little part first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is that you actually get to like play games as you go along as well. That's the whole purpose of this, the Tale of Four Gamers. I guess I'm sorry, I should give an overview of what the Tale of Four Gamers was for those.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So Tale of Four Gamers was an article series that White Dwarf used to have back in the day, and they actually kept it going for quite a while. I don't know if they do it now, so I haven't bought a White Dwarf for a little bit, unfortunately. But what it was is that they would get 4 staff members. Each of them would be given a small budget to start with. This is how it worked originally.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they do start with a start collecting army, which is basically what we did.
Right.
And they would get the small budget. They'd have to build a little force out of it, paint it up, battle each other, and then they'd move on to the next level. So I think they started off like at 500 points, and they'd go to 1,000 points, and they go up to the final battle of like 2,000 points in the end of it.
Right.
And I think that they might have had a couple more steps along the way. I'm not 100% sure. But throughout the process, you got to see 4 different people and their different takes on their personal preferred army and how they painted it and how they felt like they wanted to add the units to it.
Right.
And from there, how the battles actually came out in the end. It was not really, it wasn't matter like who won. It didn't really matter, right? It was just kind of fun to see. My favorite time was always when somebody picked the army that I was playing. I was a Wood Elf player back then, right? So
yep.
Whenever the Wood Elves, I was like, oh, cool, okay, this is what I can add to my army. And, I get an idea for that from the theme of the army and stuff. And yeah, those are just growing up, like those articles and that series, it would last over like a couple months, like throughout the year or whatever it is.
Right.
And you get to see something grow from a little tiny force up to a big, to like full 2,000 point army, and they do a big battle report at the end of it. And that was always the first article that I would flip to whenever I got one of the new magazines, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I had the opportunity to try doing that in a new format, like on the YouTube here, basically.
Yeah, you what you said to me was like something along the lines of like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I was instantly like, "Yes." And then, but when it was just between the two of us, we were like, you know what? Even if it's just the two of us who wants to do this, you know what? And even if it won't really work for the channel, let's still do this.
Wait, no, that was like I didn't even have to convince you. Actually, just
no. Yeah. Like remember at Tale of Four Gamers, and I'm like, I'm in, Darren. I'm in. Let's do this tonight.
It was funny because like I was like, okay, do you know two other people that would want to do this with us? And he's like, I got 4 more people that want to do this now. And
yeah.
Carson, you jumped in there, and Kendrick jumped in.
Yep.
We have Andy jumping in as well.
Yep.
And Dan as well, which is awesome. So
yep, we got Andy Greystone because we've got there's a few Andys, and I even know like a few guys. I know a couple of Andys at Jiu-Jitsu too. So now it's getting a little out of control. But it's such a great campaign. And like what I'll say too, by the way, hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much. Patchcoat Gray said that Tale of Four Gamers was one of their favorites. And a bunch of people, we got, VMAC in the chat, not DMAC. I'm assuming I can say your name because she's been on the channel, but just in case, being respectful. Not trying to blow people up. But yeah, it's I would encourage people to maybe even like play along, like build, because like you were saying too, it like, so, we've had like a bunch of stuff kind of happen. We've had, a few different tragedies and like, crazy lives going crazy places and different things happening. And so like, that's, why the campaign kind of ended up becoming so much later than we originally intended. But the it's when I started watching the videos and reading the article again as we were preparing to do this show, because we prepared this show about 2 weeks ago, I started getting really excited again.
No, same here. It's
Like really excited. I'm really raring to go again. You know.
when I originally thought of doing this, I didn't realize how much work it was going to be to add in the actual
Yeah.
full on like video series aspect to it.
Yep.
I don't do this stuff normally, so not like you guys. I'm not a professional.
we're definitely not professionals. I take umbrage with professional. But like, you know, and we still haven't like ironed out like everything, because like I've got some other ideas too, but I don't want to put the chicken before the egg or whatever it's called. Carson, like I know you were a very, very young man when these things came out, but what was your kind of impression when we brought this up?
I thought it was cool. It's one of those things where like you can see the passion in other people.
Yeah.
Because I think I was like 2 years old when this article series came out. I know I'm.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of dating yourself? Like doing whatever that is. But it's been cool to see like how passionate you guys have been about this. And I just enjoy like when you have a recurring series on any sort of channel, it's fun for people to follow along. And like Rob said, like it would be cool if people followed along and posted their progress for armies and stuff like that at the same time. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think like for my army, it's one that I started before, but I didn't really actually start really picking up and painting until we started doing this series. So I'm excited to share that with people too.
Awesome.
And, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Should we show the first video now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's just preface a little bit here.
Okay.
One of the parts of the videos like for the series I wanted to do was to have a little bit of fun with stuff. So everybody made a little bit of a teaser video.
Right.
To kind of introduce a little bit some of the facts and what people are playing, or just kind of like tease people into this, just so you get an idea of what's coming ahead of time and understand what we're going with here.
Exactly. We have 4 videos of those type to show. 2 of the people didn't do one, but it's not too late. Maybe like they get inspired tonight, those other 2 people, or maybe. And by the way, there's so much to this. Actually, I asked you guys to remind me of something, and then I forgot anyway. I'll be right back. Okay. I'll be right back.
All right, it's time to vamp.
All right.
What movies have you seen recently, Darren? Oh, he's back. Just kidding. I don't want to know. Sorry.
Just watched the last Alien Earth today. No spoilers.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good. So, as part of this campaign, we're actually going to be doing a giveaway. Some of you sharp eyed viewers might have noticed we've got a different logo on the stream right now. And so this campaign has actually been sponsored by Monument Hobbies. And at the end of it, we're going to... Oh, darn it. I should have thought of this ahead of time. Here, I'm just so cozy and cuddly with it. We're giving away... sponsored by Monument Hobbies, we're giving away their main and biggest paint set at the end of it. We haven't like fully settled on it, like how many tickets you're going to get for what exactly, but you will get at least 1 ticket for being a subscriber. So subscribe and you are guaranteed a shot at getting this paint set. And I think we're going to be doing stuff with other, like other ways of getting extra tickets. Like if you're a member, stuff like that, you're going to be getting extra tickets and whatnot for that. So we're still working out some of the details because giving stuff away internationally is a lot more difficult. And I really wish we'd done this earlier because now there's tariffs. So I haven't gotten a single order of dice from the States. Well, actually I've gotten 3 orders of dice. And all those 3 people canceled because the tariffs are insane. So I'm not exactly sure how everything is going to work, but we'll get it sent to you, some way or another, no matter where you are. So subscribe, interact, comment, let us know what your guys' favorite pro acrylic color is. Do that kind of thing. Follow along. It's going to be really fun. So we have 4 videos. I won't spoil who made a video and who didn't. One person in here is looking a little guilty, so it may or may not be them that didn't make a video. But there's always peer pressure. There's always peer pressure. So get on the Discord, harass the 2 remaining people into making a video, because one of them actually they're both extremely talented. What am I saying? They're both extremely talented at making videos, and they're both funny and charming people. So enough said.
Are not good at making videos. Just as a note.
Yeah, it's weird that like probably the 2 best people at making videos didn't make videos, but you know. Anyway, so without further ado, we've got actually, by the way, another thing, like we actually got each of us turned into a character from our army, and so I won't show that yet because it's a little bit of a spoiler. I guess it's kind of in the thumbnail, but
you'll see it.
Disregard the thumbnail for now, and you might not be able to tell anyway. So we've got. Should I show the first video then?
Show the first video.
Okay, first video coming right up. I need to.
Which one is the first one?
The first one, well, I was going to just like let it play. And by the way, be careful of your headphones, because I'm not sure that the start might be a little loud. I apologize if so. Or the first one is, or you need to know so you can watch it together.
Yeah, I was like,
I put it in the message. I said, we're watching them. I sent them in the right order, and we're also watching the shortest one first.
Okay. Gotcha.
And we're going longer and longer. Okay. So are you guys both ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Because like, just for the stream. Okay. Anyway, 1 second. So I got to switch over there. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Blood for the blood god!
That's right. We've got Andy playing, to the surprise of virtually everyone. Korn. Mortals, I think specifically is what he's going for. Whoops, sorry.
Andy's been a machine with painting.
He's been insane. He's painted
like everybody to shame. Like seriously,
I'm so jealous.
Every single model that you could
I think
ever
he
have
has.
in the Korn army.
Yeah, I think he's got like 5,000 points painted for this slow grow. He only needed
slow grow, right?
Yeah, he only needed the spearhead painted by now, and now he's got that. So, yeah, Veronica says, "Ew, corn." That's fair. Yeah. So Andy's like the first one revealed. He's playing Korn. He's like a huge fanatic for Korn. You'll kind of see in the interview video that we have in a minute, but he's truly like it. He is definitely at least as much Korn as I am Skaven. You know what I mean? In real life. Anyway, what did you guys think? Korn denying peas everywhere.
That was a really fun video. I didn't realize he actually had like a chainsaw too, which is awesome.
Yeah. I think that looks and
it's super fitting.
It's so good for him. Yeah, it's perfect for him. I guess
short. He got to the bloodshed early.
He got to it very quickly. He had anger. He had bloodshed. He had both of his bases covered. Yeah, like the opening intro and the ending thing is half the video for that. Yeah, it's virtually half the video. I counted.
Korn does not waste time.
No, that's true. Not known for it. Yeah.
Talking is for Zinch.
That's true. Okay. And so then we've got the second one is, should I say who? I'll just say it, right?
Sure, put her.
Okay. The second one is Dan. So we're going to, 1 second. I have to, there we go. And then, okay. I'm going to play it in 3, 2, 1, Yeah. That's right. We've got Dan playing Soulblight Gravelords, I guess.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, I feel like I have to introduce it to everyone. So Andy and Dan were the first two to get their videos done as well, I think. So that video is so good, and like you'll see in the interview later that there's a running theme. But what's cool about it too is like the first time I watched it, I didn't notice the post-it notes around the monitor. Like I noticed it like later on when it's kind of shown more clearly, but like before it. So there's like there's a fun few little, sort of bits and pieces there that
all hidden in there, right?
Yeah, like Easter eggs almost, something like that.
Now, you guys will see later, but like Dan did an amazing job converting his army up.
He did.
I don't know if you want to give it away now or not, but we can. He's doing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan's playing Soulblight Gravelords. Now this is also this was done pre-book, so I don't know what army he's picking for post-book, but I think he's still sticking to wanting Nagash in his list, hence the artwork for him. Now, one thing that he really wanted to do was he really wanted to show how much he hated elves.
Uh-huh.
So his entire army is converted to be dead elves.
Yeah,
that's simple as that.
Yeah.
Basically, he took whatever you would need for like the start collecting kit and or the spearhead. Sorry, I'm gonna get those confused a lot.
Yeah,
the spearhead box set, and basically made an entire converted army based on that. And he's planning to go all the way up to 2,000 points with a completely converted army. So his army will have probably the highest conversion rate out of all six of us, I think.
Oh yeah,
so, like by far. So
for sure.
Yeah. And it kind of like,
I mean,
it's cool because it really shows like how far you can choose to take your armies when you start to build them and stuff, right? Like Dan's going full out, right?
And this isn't the first time for Dan either, just to be clear. He converted an entire Beastman army, and he didn't have a single Beastman miniature in there. It was all like, what was it? Like Slaves to Darkness, like, what was the old Heretic? What are they called? Like the different war bands from Warcry. You know what I mean? There was like a bunch of stuff in there. I forget. I honestly don't even remember everything that he had, but I think everything was a Games Workshop miniature, but it was also like all converted. Yeah, it was amazing.
It's completely tournament legal.
Right.
But he did a full conversion and everything. Even he had a fully converted Be'lakor in there too.
Yep.
It was awesome. So it was but for this one, I've seen his stuff so far and it looks amazing, and his paint job's like awesome. Like too,
he's an excellent painter. I've still got his Go Trick here that I got in your miniature exchange.
Oh yeah.
You probably won't be able to see him very well, but he did an amazing job painting him.
Yeah. No, Dan's an awesome painter. So
he's always there watching over to me to make sure I don't paint too much Skaven. So I blame him for not getting more done, I'm actually converting a lot of my army. I won't reveal what it is yet, of course, but you know, it's I'm converting a lot of it, but like he's converting everything. So like, how can I like, I'm not going to be able to beat that. It's not possible, man.
It's okay. I'm converting nothing.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Hell yeah. Yeah. It's like one of those things where sometimes you want like other people to do less than you just so you can feel superior to them, right? Very important.
I'm here to make everyone feel better.
Excellent. I mean, your army is seriously beautiful though. It looks really good. So yeah, I mean, I didn't used to really do conversions myself, like because I was too afraid of messing it up and making everything worse. And then it was actually, not that I'm playing this in the campaign or whatever, but it was Flesh Eater Courts for me that like, I was like, I don't like the, at the time, what was it? The Vargulf at the time. I didn't like the flayers because like you buy them in a box of 3 and then like, what do you do when because before you used to have to like run a courtier and then you had to run like 3 of them. So like some of the parts went to waste essentially. And so
2 extras all the time. Right?
Yeah. So it really ticked me off. So I converted it out of a Varg skier. Yeah. And then I added like a Swarm Lord's wings and I did my own stuff with putty and I converted like the throne and like a bunch of other stuff. And I was just like, honestly, once you lose the fear of like screwing it up, like it sets you free and you can kind of enjoy it. So I've even been doing it on my Skaven and different armies like that. And yeah.
I'm just super impatient. I like to get my stuff on the table as fast as I can. And
that's fair. Yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier too, like how you need like a tournament, like, and that's always been your thing. Like since you first started playing AOS back in like, what was it, 2018, around there.
Yeah, whenever I guess the first edition came out, or as soon as the first general handbook came out. That's when I started playing AOS.
That's true, but you weren't like fully into it at that point.
No, but I was getting into it at that point. I got
sure.
like within a couple months of that book coming out.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember when you like actually dived in though, was that first slow grow campaign that I ran, and you played Maggotkin, and Maggotkin were like just out. But you and I played a couple of games. You actually had Skaven at the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was I brought my old fantasy army back in, my Skaven army, because that was the last one I had put together and painted. And then jumped into Maggotkin because I was actually trying to start up I can't think of Plague Marines for 40k, and they just came out with the Guo kit, right?
Yeah.
That Great Unclean One kit was so amazing. I was like, I'm not really into 40k right now, but I'm going to buy this and get into it because I really love this model.
The Guo kit came out together in Age of Sigmar as well. We got that. We got the Blight Lords on the Flies. We got Beast of Nurgle and a few other things, a bunch of hero characters, and then the book too. Remember they did that Christmas reveal thing? Anyway, I still think of you because of that first campaign we did. I still think of you as a Maggotkin player. That's your main army in my head canon.
That kind of is the main army I feel like the most comfortable with.
Oh, interesting.
I also have a problem with like, Army ADHD, and I keep on jumping over to the next one.
Yeah,
Whoever
I do.
Gets the coolest looking model out. Like,
yeah,
I'm not like, you said I'm a tournament player. Just to be clear, I'm not a good tournament player. I am a tournament player.
but you've always used tournaments as motivation for getting things painted. Like
I love the event. I love going to like organized events. I love doing that. Unfortunately, this year I kind of missed out on I had a lot of other things going on, but kind of stopped me from hitting up a bunch of events. But I usually try to get to at least 2 or 3 a year, and I love doing it because it gets me playing games and reason to host games days at my house and all that fun stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you, me, and Andy were the ones who founded our club back in the day, and the club idea was your idea. So, yeah, very much into the scene and whatnot. Okay, without further ado, should we show yours?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I guess just so everyone knows, I was trying to do. I wanted a really like cool like shining armor army like Bretonnian Knight. So you guys will see what I got. So.
Yeah, pretty much Bretonnia.
They don't have it in the US right now, but
I mean, I think they
Kind of.
do. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
In a Rome torn by war and darkness,
Our voices rise at break of day. The mossy floor of velvet throne, this woodland realm.
one shining beacon of justice rises above the filth.
Whispering pines and emerald streams, we dwell within.
With gallant hearts and gleaming blades, we charge into battle,
Dances through the leaves.
not for glory, but for honor.
They gave me a room with rubber and lace. You broke in wearing a porcelain face. The nurses screamed, "Don't
Yes,
feed
gallop,
the
my
dreams,"
duke.
but
Feast
you
upon the
stitched
wicked.
your name
Yes.
in all my seams. You painted the walls with your phantom parade. Said madness is art if the colors don't fade.
Absolutely awesome. So Darren is playing, he's playing FEC, Flesh Eater Courts, also known as Bretonia, the true Bretonia. That trailer's so good. Carson, had you not seen that? Had you not seen?
No, I haven't.
Wow, that's
I think
so
there was
awesome.
a glitch at the end. Like your armor looked kind of weird. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, my armor looked great. It was nice and shiny the entire time, and
I guess it was just my computer. It messed
yeah,
up
no,
or something like that.
yeah. There's,
Okay.
there's
It's
nothing
probably-
Oh
wrong
yeah,
with
but
it.
looks awesome. Yeah.
maybe
Yep.
with Streamlabs or something. Like they feel it finds a way to ruin everything.
It could have been, yeah. Who
That
knows?
must be it. That must be it.
100%.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, like yours is the most recent one, but I think it has the highest production value by far. Out of any of them. Dan's is really good too.
Dan's good, yeah.
Dan has a great. Yeah, we're kind of going along, in order of length because that way, for all the people who
didn't
don't have the
mind-
attention span, they can,
Yeah. I did mine kind of like last minute. It didn't take as long to film it as I thought it would. Like I filmed all the parts in an evening. I just happen to have like video editing software because my wife had a YouTube channel for a while, and so I would edit her videos for her.
right.
So I was just playing around with stuff. Purely experimenting with special effects and stuff like that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to put stuff together
It
properly.
looks great to me. Yeah. No,
Trying to
I
find the
think
music too to fit. It was like I don't know. It was super difficult to know what I'm doing.
I loved it, man. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah. So Darren's playing FEC. Yeah, the army's looking fantastic. So far we have chaos and 2 death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If anyone has any questions, by the way, let us know.
I can't see the chat, so if anybody's saying anything, I don't know.
They mentioned how great your nails looked. Your nails were immaculate. That's so funny. No one said anything about like the cool video effects you did, or you know what I mean? How hilarious it was. But now they're like, damn, those nails though. Yeah. You could be a hand model, Darren. It was a great video, right? Yeah, it's really good. By the way, all these videos will be coming out separate on the channel. by the way, if the audio is fine, we can just start releasing them. So let me know. I'm not sure. Maybe mine might be the one that's. I'm not sure. Anyway, let us know. We will be releasing them though. Coming up, and then we're gonna start showing the. We have some battle reports filmed, Spearhead battle reports. So that's actually. Maybe we'll take a quick break now from the videos, and we'll talk about like the format. So we're doing the first like set of games, the first like what's the word? Like leg of the race is going to be Spearhead. So the first game we're actually playing is going to be Spearhead, and we're playing Spearhead on the channel. What did you guys think about Spearhead? Like,
I'd like to play more Spearhead, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like when it gets to the point of both players knowing how to play like properly and knowing their actual Spearhead armies, it genuinely could take like 30, 45 minutes to finish a game.
Yep.
Which is just unheard of in Warhammer time.
Yeah.
So
I like the chaoticness of it with the cards. Like,
yeah,
you can't predict what you're going to be doing each turn necessarily because you have, you're at the mercy of the draw, right?
It's true. It reminds me a lot of Maelstrom from 40K, like 8th edition and stuff like that, where you just draw cards and then you kind of have to like, think on the fly and you know what I mean, and change your strategy based on what you get. And I really think that like, so Darren, you actually, because this was your idea, like even the doing Spearhead first was your idea as well, and you were just kind of saying like it's the best place that, in your opinion, to like get started in AOS 4, and I have to agree even more now that I've played quite a few games. I played like one game before we actually filmed the Spearhead games, and then since then I've actually played with my kid a number of games, like 3 or 4 games, and it's really good. I really do think it is the best way to get into AOS because like it is a simplified rule set. It's a smaller game, and like Carson said, once you get rolling, like I think my first game ever took us like an hour and a half, and we played all 5 rounds.
Right.
And that was our first game ever. Like neither one of us really properly knew the rules. So, yeah.
Well, like I said, like part of the original concept from the Tale of Four Gamers was you start with a small army. Like in fantasy, they had 500 points, right?
Yeah.
So for the fact that you can now play a beginner game with balanced armies, which are basically meant to be played against each other. There's still like, there's some imbalances in it. It's not
definitely
perfect.
Yeah. They don't concentrate on the balance of Spearhead necessarily as much.
No, exactly. But you get to learn how the game works, and you get to get more experience in that aspect of it, right?
Absolutely, and it's also punishing for having said all that, like they do have like a punishing mechanic for taking the double turn and like. You know what I mean? Like it really, it's so good. Thank you, Big Ron, for becoming a member again. He said, hey, what a great idea. I'll show off my new FEC. Got both Spearheads. Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, post it. Like people, again, the Discord link is down below. We'll have all the information for how to win the awesome Monument Pro Acrylic paint set that we're giving away at the end of the campaign. Everything will be on there. It'll be on this channel too. But, it's you can see everyone's armies that they're working on. I'll be posting more in there. And speaking of which, Dan said, Darren, video of you painting while wearing a full suit of armor when? In all caps. I got to agree. That might have to be a member exclusive. We
can set something up. I'm sure.
Yeah. The funny thing is so Darren did not buy that suit of armor for this video, by the way.
No.
Yeah, it should probably be said. He's not a complete psychopath. Just,
I'm just a complete nerd because I'm fully into LARPing, so that's why I have all that stuff.
Hell yeah. I mean, you are playing FEC too, so like a certain amount of delusion, of grandeur or otherwise is probably expected or should be expected.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I like it a lot. Absolutely. Okay. I guess it's time to show my army.
All right, let's do it.
I think everyone's going to be pleasantly surprised when I reveal my army. Okay. I need to pull up the thing though. So I've got so many tabs open. It's actually kind of crazy. Okay. So we've got there, and then 3, 2. Oops, I went to the wrong one. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. We're here at Magic Stronghold today to pick out a new army for the Saga of Six campaign. Let's go inside. Well, the most important thing is that it's a different army that I've never played before. So, well, I've never played these guys before, but I don't know that I want to paint all of them. Daughters of Cain are awesome. I really like the snake, whatever they're called. They're really cool. A lot of variety in the army. But I don't know, Dale just played them on the channel. Yeah, maybe not them. Maybe not this time. KO are awesome. Steampunk Sky Dwarves. I like these boats, but they kind of seem like a pain in the butt to paint. Yeah, maybe not this time. I mean, naked dwarves. I do like Gotrek. Maybe something else. Ooh, Zeech. I do like Zeech. I don't know. They're kind of complicated to play. Yeah, maybe not them. Ossiarch Bone Reapers are really awesome. Yeah, I don't think these guys are the answer. Yeah, I haven't been able to pick out something today, but I have all the confidence that I can pick out something brand new that I've never played before, not Skaven, and I'll enjoy it. Huge surprise. Complete surprise. I got you all, didn't I? I knew it. I knew I'd get you all. I am playing Skaven.
Oh, I thought you went Daughters of Cain.
I almost did. It was Iron Jaws or Skaven, actually.
You know, I thought for a second that after recording everything and seeing you deciding to go Skaven anyway, that for some reason you might have retroactively changed things to not be Skaven.
Went back in
but
time.
Here I am, foot in my mouth, egg on my face.
Yeah. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, it was really fun. I was embarrassed when I went into one of the local gaming stores here, Magic Stronghold, and they were kind enough to let me film in there, and like I could feel everyone's eyes on me or whatever, and I was just pretending not to notice. And then at the end of it, actually I had to record that video twice because I couldn't get the mic to work with my phone, which I was filming it on, and then so like you couldn't hear me. It was like it just sounded like I was, you know, in a gaming store. Yeah, with like 100 people playing Magic the Gathering or whatever, you know what I mean, and Warhammer and stuff like that. So I had to go back and I actually had to film it twice. And the second time was more embarrassing. But anyway, my son was kind enough to like, you know, hold my phone and do that stuff. And then anyway, at the end of it, I went up and I bought, you know, I always buy stuff when I go in there. I don't even remember what I bought. And I put my stuff on the counter and I was like, you know, thanks again, you know, to Jordan, the owner, for letting me film here or whatever. And I was like, it's for the campaign, for this campaign we're about to do or whatever. And he was like, yeah, we were all wondering what you were doing. I was like, God damn. Like, I knew that people were looking at me, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize how much until like they were just like, yeah, we were all basically staring at you the whole time. Oh, man. Yeah.
It looked good, man. Like it looks like you like a full-on like vlog, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Lifestyle of the Warhammer.
part of that was like was Carson's idea too. Like originally I was going to be like staring at like Skaven models and just breathing heavily and kind of in a disturbing way, but Carson was like, what if you were just like surrounded by models and just making crazy noises or whatever? So I was like, yeah, you know, I'm shameless. I don't care how stupid I look. Let's go with that. Yeah. I like it. You know?
Came out really well. That was a good video.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I actually, you know, at the end of the day, I actually had a lot of fun making it. So that's right. So we've got 2 other people in the campaign. We've got Carson. And Carson, would you like to because Carson didn't make a video. Everyone peer pressure him to make a video because it'd be really good. And it's not too late. But what army are you playing? You can reveal it here.
I'm going to be playing Slaves to Darkness, and my video is going to be in the Saga of Dice Discord tomorrow without showing anyone.
What?
No vetting.
What? Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what Kenrick's doing, so shame on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will be posting in the Discord tomorrow.
What?
So
That's
tune in for that.
That's crazy.
I'm not going to send it to you beforehand either. You're not allowed to see it.
Okay. Okay.
But
So-
yeah, I'm going to be playing Slaves to Darkness. It's going
No
to be my
horrible swear words, please.
It's in Discord.
By the way,
It's in Discord.
Carson literally did not tell me about this. Yeah. So it'll be on the Discord apparently. So definitely join that. Okay. Sorry. I interrupted you, but wow, that took me by surprise.
But yeah, I'm playing Slaves to Darkness. I believe we're showing the interview thing today as well. Right?
Exactly. That's why I thought you might as well say.
All of us will, be sharing like our deep thoughts about why we picked these armies. But yeah, it's kind of like a Bretonia themed. So I'm the second Bretonia army, I guess.
What? I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I've known about your thing like since before you ever like started properly playing. That's crazy. Wow. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, it's so good. Everyone loves your paint scheme. So like could you explain a little bit about or is it not a good idea? Do you not want to explain about your lore? I think you've talked about it before.
I explained it in the video a bit.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. But basically it's like every single model has its own heraldry and color scheme and stuff like that, which is a horrible idea if you want to paint in any
terrible
quick fashion.
So stupid. but it looks great.
Yeah. It looks really, really good.
It does. Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of seeing it in person, so that's
I brought it to a couple tournaments already, but it's been like half my stuff, half borrowed stuff.
Oh,
and
right.
There's kind of like a running joke in the club where there's this set of Vanguard that was like extremely quickly painted by one of our club members. It's like literally just metallic paints and like like blobs of red and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I brought it to the World Championships last year, and I heard the paint judges behind me be like, "Those Chosen look so good." But the Vanguard, my God. My God, those Vanguard.
That's so funny. But you couldn't like preface it or like
I explicitly told them I didn't want to be paint judged.
Oh, got it.
I was borrowing models, but
I
still,
see. That's funny. Yeah.
But I will have my own when we finish this campaign.
Eventually.
nice.
Eventually. You know what my favorite one is? My favorite model that you painted for that army? The Chaos Sorcerer.
And then they changed the base size of the Chaos Sorcerer. I was like, no.
Oh, did that happen?
Yeah, it did. But
I was just trying to like.
I can still use it as like a Dark Oath War Queen or something like that, probably. But
yeah. Or you could just rebase it. It's pretty easy to do. You like if you just for anyone because I've rebased literally hundreds of clan rats and different other models. You just cut like the bevel off the base, and then you just kind of like stick it onto the new proper base size, and then you just kind of put a little bit of putty or whatever on there.
Is it bigger or smaller?
It's
The new
bigger.
one?
it's
Really?
bigger.
Yeah, it went from 32 to 40, if I'm correct. Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's actually really easy to do then, yeah.
it is. Yeah, but whatever. I was just trying to get you to say that. Point out the fact that I chose the paint scheme for that sorcerer.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they made it work.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I actually genuinely think it looks great. And it wasn't like I picked something that like I'm known for. It was, I forget what I picked, like blue and pink or something like that. But
You're definitely known for like teal and purple, like magenta-esque sort of things. Like that's
Wait,
like the
but-
Rob special.
no, I know. God dang it. I don't think that that's totally true, but the sorcerer, that's not the color scheme I picked for it though. You told me to pick it.
I thought you said pink and teal or something like that. Or
Oh, really?
yeah, that's what it ended up being.
Oh, okay.
Pink, teal, and white.
I thought it was like more of a blue, like a turquoisey color.
Maybe.
Anyway, I remember
Yep.
all this really well because it happened last week or like 4 years ago, something like that. Yeah,
Somewhere between those times.
somewhere pretty close, I think. I'll have to shelf and roll around in them. You'll get less weird looks. You live your life and I'll live mine, Keith. Don't tell me what to do. Yep. And actually, those were, by the way, all of those were my models. I didn't take anything off the shelf. I filmed that in my house. Like those were all like my boxes. Yeah, I may have got a little crazy when the new models got released. So yeah, okay. So and then actually, we should also reveal. Shame on Kenrick. He didn't make a video, but he will be playing. Peer pressure him though. It definitely works. That's how everyone gets into smoking, from what I understand. He's playing Maggotkin and Nurgle. And by the way, another shout out we have to make. So shout outs first of all to Monument, but another shout out to Desmond. You know, we did get all of ourselves turned into our different armies. He like literally transformed our faces into models from various armies and whatnot that we're going to be playing. I can show it right now on stream. I think I'll be posting like the individual ones like for each introduction video. But should I show those real quick before we go on to the main video?
Yeah, if you have the
do it,
whole group
absolutely.
shot, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah. I it's like the one thing I didn't think of doing ahead of time. Actually, that and scheduling the stream, which Carson pointed out to me shortly before, but it doesn't take but a second. So it's the Saga of Six. There we go. Oh, well, let's do that. Because I want to just highlight how awesome Desmond is for doing this. There we go. Whoops, it is way too big. Right click, transform, and then what is it? Fit to screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. So that's everyone transformed. Honestly, I'm sorry to everyone. Everyone's is awesome. Everyone's is awesome. And it pains me to say this because the bastard didn't make a video, but I think Kenrick's is my favorite. It's so good. It's like those kinds of things are always the best when they're the most self-deprecating, And his is obviously like him as like a Nurgling or something surrounded by cheeseburgers and like this Nurgle fly thing bringing him a bag of McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah, it has the most character for sure.
It has the most character. That's it. Yeah. But like but shout outs again to Desmond. He did a great job. You can find him on Instagram. I got to remember to link him on the Discord, and I'll try and add him to this video for people watching in the future. Like I've shopped around a little bit because I've always kind of wanted to have my brother did it for me a long time ago. That's actually my Discord picture is my brother turned me into like this wolf rat kind of gray seer creature. But I always wanted to do it in this style. And so I shopped around and like normally this kind of thing is very expensive. And what he charged us was very reasonable. Like it's the best that I've ever seen, and he's insanely talented. Like these,
Oh yeah.
I think I'm the hardest one to tell because like I'm the least human. Like I ended up as a rat, creature. So, but yeah, he took all of our feedback and everything into consideration. So it's really good. Yeah, Des is amazing. He's incredible. Yeah.
And like I should mention too, like when we got this artwork done, we were in the very, very early stages of the whole project. So we hadn't, I don't know if any of us had really painted much of our own armies yet.
No. Yeah, I mean, it was shortly after I actually got my paint scheme finalized before they released them, because I was like, I need to hit the ground running when the scheming models come out. And Carson, he's been doing this paint scheme for a long ass time. But yeah, it was but yeah, like you probably didn't, and actually Andy's I think was based off of his. Now I'm realizing there's more of us who had to figure out our paint schemes than I originally realized. But it was, I mean, like he really took in like everything that we asked and more, you know.
Well, like it was like we're in the early concepts phase of everything.
We were.
The whole project,
That's true.
like, he was actually able to bring it together and add life to it. And
that's true.
As soon as I saw the artwork for it, I was totally into this project. Of course, right? I was like, deep dive. Let's go. Let's paint everything. Let's get going as much as I can. Right. So
well, and like for what you pay for like one box of miniatures. You know what I mean? Or I should say, considering what you pay for a box of miniatures or whatever, like having something to like kind of, what's the word? Like immortalize, you know, like some kind of campaign that you're doing. Like it's worth it. You know, I don't know if he gave us a discount or whatever, but like, honestly, don't tell him I would have paid way more, but mum's the word, you know? So, but yeah, anyway, so now I guess, should we go on to the final kind of video?
Sure, but
please
probably preface it a little bit here.
Yeah, please.
So part of the Tale of the Four Gamers that I really liked, which I forgot to mention earlier, is there's the building of the army aspect, but there's also the hobby aspect of it too. Mm-hmm. So like the articles would always go through and they would break down on how people use like or chose their paint schemes and their different processes for it. And that's actually what I wanted to add into the series as well, is to make sure that we can actually not just show off the gaming side of things, but also add in a little bit of the hobby part of it. So the interview process is us talking about why we chose our armies, how we got into it, and put our thoughts on how we want to go ahead with painting our armies. I do hope, or I plan to anyways, have a few more videos added in there with where we start talking about new models we're adding to our list before we actually jump into the next levels. So I think we've done up to Spearhead right now, and then the rest of it's going to be live. So before we do the live games of the 1,000 points, I'm thinking that we'll have another video popping up here where each of us is going to talk about what we chose to add to our armies based on the Spearhead and how our painting techniques go ahead, to kind of give a different feeling for how each of us approaches building and painting our own armies, right?
Yeah.
Like my I love speed painting. I try to do high quality speed painting as best as I can, right?
You do. Yeah. You do a great job.
No, thank you. But I would rather have models out on the table quicker than to spend hours on it. Carson, you're highly detailed, amazing models. Like that, it's such a huge difference, you know. The quality wise, yours are they're so good. Then you have like Dan with his like high level of conversions, right? And then Andy's like amazing ability to like just fire off so many models, and they actually look really good as well. So it's, you know, everybody has their little bits going on, like, you know, with how they approach the painting aspects of it too. Like Rob, you and I have a somewhat similar paint style. But maybe they're
I'm
different.
very slow.
Well, no, I mean, like as far as like I always use airbrush, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
I always use an airbrush, right?
I always start with airbrush. Yeah.
You always use an airbrush too, well, for the most part.
Yeah.
But after that part of it, we branch off a little bit differently. I start using oil paints and all that stuff, right? And I'm not exactly sure what your technique is after that, but
I use oil paints. I use a little bit of everything. I like to do,
right.
learn a new technique with each new big project and that kind of thing. But I'm like, I have like this like OCD kind of thing where like I have an idea, and then unless I can execute it, like I can't stop. So I'm currently working on a Skaven model that I've been working on for like 2 months, and like I was using like Teflon tape for the first time or whatever, and it like stripped something it wasn't supposed to strip. So like I had to like completely redo the most time consuming part of the whole model from scratch. And so that was like a huge emotional blow, to be honest. And I kind of just stopped doing anything. And so I've started again, and honestly, with just watching these videos again, I was like, okay, I'm rearing to go again. I'm ready. So this is going to be great. Yeah, I'm super excited. So, and I do post, by the way, I do post like everything I work on. I post on the Saga of Dice Discord and the Skaven Facebook page, if it's Skaven, obviously. I mean, I posted the different armies on Facebook too, because people say really kind things, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and it inspires me to work hard and, or get to the next thing. But yeah, so one of the most recent things I posted was I did Pinky in the Brain, like this thing or whatever. I posted on my Instagram too, but like it's like the Master Molder and then the Brew Terror or whatever. And on Instagram, I have the Pinky and the Brain music playing in the background. But anyway, so we did a bunch of interviews, and again, I forgot to say this. I meant to say this kind of off the hop, but I think now is a better time anyway. I've been, taking the piss from Kenrick or whatever, but he cut this video that you guys are about to see, and like, no offense to Dan might be able to do this actually, but like none of us were gonna make a video of this quality. Like I don't want to oversell it, but like, god dang, it's so like
he filmed it too, right?
He filmed it too. He filmed it, and he was like, but I'm not gonna edit it. And then he's like, okay, I edit it. He's like, I'm not an editor. And I'm like, I cannot tell. It's, man, I love it.
It looks super professional. I'm amazed with the job he did with this one. So
same here. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. Is there any questions or anything you guys want to say before we get into it? It's like is it about 15 minutes long?
It's 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Okay. So, let us know if you guys have any questions beforehand. And again, we will be posting these videos, like probably like twice a week or something like that, as we lead into the Spearhead games and whatnot. So, okay. I don't see any. Keith says, Rob's Skaven Emporium, you can't buy all mine. That is the most. I should get that printed on a t-shirt, Wait, were those unopened Skaven box, Rob, with you starting in AOS? Yeah. Almost entirely. There was like one or two that I had built, and then I just kept the box. But I meant to keep all of them, so I was going to have even more than that. But I just forgot at some point, and like I threw a bunch of them away because I just forgot about making that video at one point. But I was really pissed. So. Yeah, but no, those were almost entirely unopened, as you can see, because there's no, whatever. Yeah, there's no sticker. I can't remember, and I guess they don't have shrink wrap on them. Do they? I don't even know anymore. Well, whatever. Mostly, almost entirely unopened. There was like the weapon batteries. There was 2 of them were opened, I think, when I filmed that, which was a long time ago. Okay. Anyway, looks like we don't have any questions. It's not too late though. But I will get this next video ready, and there we go. Let's see. Switch over. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, let's do this. You guys are good to go?
Yeah.
We're good?
All right, Dan. So,
Yep.
when did you first get into Warhammer?
Yeah, I think it was, I read, like as a child, I read The Hobbit, and I just realized how rad Thorin and all of those guys were, and just genuinely how crappy all of the elf characters were. And so from that point on, I just knew when they're like alabaster skin, straight away it's a bad character. What was the question?
Did I ever read the Tale of Four Gamers? Yeah, that was actually my favorite article to read whenever I got a White Dwarf. Like the first thing I'd always turn to as soon as that came out.
I think he said something along those lines. Like, did you ever read those articles back in the day? And I absolutely did. And he sent me, like a link to the article, and it was the one that I read because it had Skaven in it. So anything with Skaven.
First White Dwarves, and they started with this Tale of Four Gamers where they had 4 staff members come out and pick different armies, and they would all have a price point where they started on. They built a list for it. They all showed their process for painting it and the styles they wanted to do in, and then they would all start doing these like little mini battles with each other, and to see who could come over, like be the ultimate victor in their game. And I've always wanted to do a system like that before, and that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to do this.
Fun fact about the Tale of Four Gamers, I was actually 2 years old when that was originally published. So I was an avid enjoyer of it right when it came out. And I hope they keep doing them.
I didn't read the Tale of Four Gamers articles back in the day. I believe they came out in 95, closer to 2000, something like that. I was born in 95, so I was a little bit young for that.
I actually never read A Tale of Four Gamers back in the day. I do remember White Dwarf. I don't remember picking it up very much, and it was a really hard sell to sell me a magazine because I barely read as a kid to begin with. But hearing about Darren's passion for reading that as it was ongoing has made me now since go back and read them, and they're such a great relic, but also like super inspiring and captures the essence of what it feels like to do a slow grow campaign with your friends.
All right, appreciate it. We're doing a spiritual successor to something that I have no clue about.
When they showed the armies, they actually showed you how to get into the game. So one of the best parts was you didn't need to have your 2,000 point army right off the bat. You actually got to start with maybe like a 500 point army. So each one of us is actually going to start up playing with a spearhead. We're going to build it, paint it, and show a great intro point in how to get into the actual Age of Sigmar.
Like just the size of the ears, I think is probably the other thing. Like when you've got such big elongated ears, those are ears designed for eavesdropping.
I got into Warhammer when I was 8 years old. My brothers, so I'm the youngest of 3 brothers by a lot, by like 6 or 8 years. It's not that I don't know, sorry. It's that I have 2 brothers, one is 6 years older, one's 8 years older. And they were always like kind of ahead of the curve for hobbies and computers and stuff like that. So I saw them playing Warhammer, and then I kind of got dragged into a hobby shop to split a Warhammer fantasy box with my brother.
First novel I ever read was called Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. And I think since then I've always had like this kind of affection for rats in general. But I was reading the Battle Tome, and I was just going, they're so interesting. I don't ever see a time when Skaven isn't my favorite army. I'm not a very nostalgic person, but I am nostalgic for Skaven in a way that I'm just not for other things.
So my Warhammer journey started in Park Royal Mall in West Vancouver when I was about 6 or 7. I was with my mom, and we walked by the Games Workshop, and I saw the models, and I was like, what's going on in there? And I came out about 30 years later in a bunch of debt.
I was probably back in '98, I actually remember. My mom had taken me to one of the malls here locally, and they happened to have a Games Workshop at the time in there. And I walked by the store, and this is the first time I remember seeing their display models in the front window of the store. A Wood Elf Forest Dragon just sitting there, and they had painted it amazingly. And I just saw that, I'm like, what is this, and how do I get into it?
When I was 5 or 6 years old, I was in Park Royal with my parents, And of course, there's the Games Workshop there. And I looked inside and it's like, oh, these fantasy miniatures are cool. And my parents were like, no, you're not doing that. No.
Like, you know, I would say a dwarf, their word is their bond. Like, they're like, I gave you my word. And you're like, I get it. Whereas an elf would be like, I gave you some words. And you're like, what does that mean? They're like, like every time I think about another army, I do a dwarf army just to like pay the tithe there. So I started with dwarves and then I went dwarves. And then I went with ogres, which are like big, meaty, still bearded dwarves. And then I went back to dwarves. And then I went beastmen, which realistically, if you think about the key feature of a dwarf being a beard, beastmen are all beard.
I went through all the army books. I was in there for hours, and I went through every army book. And then I walked away, and I came back, and I kept coming back, actually to this army book right here. This is the one from 1993. It was my first purchase. I bought this, and I bought Deathmaster Snitch, the old pose where he's like...
5 years pass, turn 10, I'm like, all right, let's go to the Games Workshop. My parents are like, you remember that? What the hell? And keeping their promise, they took me to the Games Workshop. I had a free painting lesson, and he didn't have a Space Marine for me to paint. On that, it was a rare occasion where like they're out of like free model, like free painting samples. And so he goes, 1 second, and he goes into like the back of the store, and he comes back with what would end up being my favorite model in all of 40K is a Khorne Berserker.
There was, and this is back in the days where it was like retro, high fantasy, bright everything. Like there was no grit, there was no dark, the bases were goblin green and gorgeous. The elves were terrible and the dwarves were fantastic.
With all 6 of us, I wanted to make sure we each had a different army. And one of the few armies that I've always wanted to start up was the Noble Knights. So I went with FAC, or Flesh Eater Courts. I've had a Flesh Eater Courts army actually for quite a while now, and I've never really had an excuse to paint them.
So I'm going to be playing the Glotkin of Nurgle, which I've always loved Nurgle as far as Chaos Gods go. I can't really say why, but they've always been my favorite. And I haven't ventured into Chaos at all. For this project, I'm actually going to be using an airbrush, which I've never done before. So I'm going to be learning the airbrush, and I'm also going to be learning how to use oils. And I think Nurgle is like the kind of perfect army to be testing out kind of these different techniques.
I'm going to be playing Slaves to Darkness. So when I was a kid, I remember seeing someone's Bretonnia army that was just like magnificently painted. It had like all of the heraldry, the different colors. Yeah, it was fantastic. And I always kind of wanted to emulate that. And before Cities of Sigmar came out, I actually ended up buying a Slaves to Darkness army because all of the new models came out. And I had this idea, maybe I could have like naughty Bretonians, where like, it was like corrupted Bretonians. There's more of a backstory than that. There's like corrupted Bretonians who essentially like swore fealty to Archaon. And then like, as they die, their homelands that were previously safe get like ransacked. Because their lord is no longer like serving a purpose.
So if it wasn't obvious, I will be playing the Blades of Khorne, specifically the Khorne Bloodbound. I actually have a big Khorne Demons army. I'm going to be bringing the mortal half of the Age of Sigmar Khorne army. This is kind of my, I'm kind of using this as an opportunity to actually build that side of the army. I'm starting with the Khorne Bloodbound Spearhead, with the Slaughter Priest and the Skull Crushers and the Blood Warriors and the Blood Reavers. They're gonna be the core of my army, and then I'm gonna be adding some more Skull Crushers. I'm gonna be adding a Lord of Khorne on a Juggernaut, which is my favorite sculpt that GW has ever done. It's a classic like Warhammer Fantasy sculpt, and I actually ended up getting a new in box metal version of that from eBay because it's, yeah, hands down my favorite sculpt.
What army will I be playing? This army. Oh, dang it, sideways. That army, or that army. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be playing, I think I'm gonna go with Ironjaws. Like, it's not an exaggeration to say I spent many sleepless nights thinking about my paint scheme. And what I landed on was the fact that I really like how brown and purple looks together. Pro Acryl's my favorite paint brand, right? They just have the smoothest paints. And so I wanted to pick something that would go well with that. And I love the royal purple. The royal purple is, I think, my favorite purple ever created.
So at the start, I love converting. So I've taken elves that arguably, if assembled, normally would be alive, slashed them up, torn them to pieces, really broken down their silhouette. and then replaced all of their skin bits, because obviously elves are so, oh, look at my beautiful skin. And then now I'd run out of dwarves to do, which really Games Workshop does need to pick up their slack there, because I've done all of their Warhammer dwarves, I've done all of their Age of Sigmar dwarves, and I've done all of their like Hobbit, Lord of the Rings dwarves. So I guess the only thing I was left with that wasn't a dwarf was the only thing better than a dwarf, which is a dead elf.
Thanks to Jordan. So we're giving away their main paint set, their base paint set. It has 24 paints in it. It's like a heavy box of paint. All of their paints are 22 milliliter bottles. So that's a lot more than normal. And the paint quality is higher. So we will be giving this away at the end of the campaign. Subscribe to the channel, join the Discord to find out exactly how you can win. It's gonna be really fun, and you can also follow along. The link is in the description below, and you can join for free. Like, there's nothing behind a paywall on Discord, on our Discord, and there's lots of people like posting their hobby progress, tips for gaming. We have, world championship competing players in our Discord, and so you can get advice on how to be better at the game, and you can also just join to find out about how you can win the best set of paints in the world, in my opinion.
Carson is a good friend of mine and is an incredible painter, and for years and years I've been like, how are you doing this? And he's always been a pro acryl guy, and he loves their paint line, and he has pretty much inspired me for the last year to just start swapping out every time I go back to get a new color, picking up their version. And for this particular army, I have some really bright popping yellows and oranges, and probably a big inspiration for the yellow, now that I think about it, is like the package of a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, I first started using Pro Acryl just as a recommendation from Rob, and it was their metallics that I kind of got into first, just because I find the dark silver was like, it's just a really solid metallic paint. You can even airbrush it pretty well, which is nice. Not that I do that too much, but I actually find the most versatile and like useful paint is bright ivory, because it's like this like off warm white, where because I'm doing so many like different colors and heraldries, anytime I'm doing a warm color, I can kind of like build it up to white with bright ivory without it becoming too cold.
Yeah, so I've been using Pro Acryl for a very long time. I ended up getting a lot of their stuff, I think 2 years ago, and I've never looked back. They're probably one of my favorite paint brands, if not my favorite paint brand, mostly because of their bold titanium white. I will live and die by that paint.
My style of painting is like, I like the term maybe functional pretty. Because I am a dwarf, I want things to be functional and efficient, because I'm not a fickle wanker elf that makes things overly complicated or uses magic as a way to bolster the fact that we can't actually just make a good crossbow. Looking at the Pro Acryl range, that's where I've gone and like broken down my colors, layers, effects that give you that really beautiful final image on these dead, deserving, earless, skull-faced elves. Like, I don't want them to look like the bright, shiny, happy elves. I want, when you look at them, to be like, that's what they deserve. That's what you deserve!
Having a painting system which is quick and looks good was really important to me. I follow another YouTuber, Marco, who does Not Just Mecha. You should check out his channel too, because he has some great painting tips. And he has an amazing system where he basically puts down highly opaque base coats and is able to coat them with like oil paints, doing reverse basically painted with the oils, so you actually just rub the paint off of it. But you need like really good acrylic paints, and that's actually why I'm actually excited to try out the Pro Acryl paints this time. I've never been able to use them, so this will be the first time I'm actually using them.
Like, I just want to be clear, I got into Warhammer because dwarves were rad, and then I could find ways to kill elves. Like, if there's, like, my fan fiction of, which disappointingly hasn't done super well, of Lord of the Rings, involves Gimli skinning Legolas very early on. And then when they get to the Mines of Moria, it's actually not a Balrog, it's just a big elf. Just a really big elf. I can't remember what the question was.
Oh, I cut off the very end of that. I didn't realize that I had the, what do you call it? Like the little teaser stinger, not the stinger, but like the like the subscribe and whatnot at the end there. And my apologies. Yeah, it was shot. I don't know if I cut that off or not, but it was shot by Kenrick and edited by Kenrick, and he did an amazing job once again. That was amazing. Thanks so much, Scotty. Thanks for all the the comments and stuff. You guys were making me laugh. I couldn't turn off. Thanks to you guys for not like laughing or being too loud, because I can't cut off you guys, otherwise no one can hear it. I could have cut off my mic, but then I didn't. I just stifled my own laughter and whatnot. Yeah, it's so good. So the plan is we'll release kind of the videos, I think, in the order that we've shown them tonight, over the coming weeks. And then that interview. And then at some point, what I want to do is either for members or maybe just I'll put it up on the channel. I actually want to release the full interviews, because like each interview is like 10 or 15 minutes each, I think, approximately. And like I would edit it so that, like, you know what I mean? It's like just straight to the, you know what I mean? Like it's just the questions and answers and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's part of the plan for it. So yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, for the nice comments. Yeah.
I just want to point something out real quick here. Somewhat unrelated. I just turned the comments on so I can read it. I realized that Veronica is underneath my account online.
Yes,
so
that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, I didn't think about that. No, I did mention that earlier. I said
I thought you said VMAC, and I didn't realize it said DMAC on it.
Because that's what she said. Yeah, that's what Veronica said at the start. She said this isn't DMAC, it's VMAC on your account.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And then yeah. That would be, actually that reminds, like when we started watching the video and I came up, I like the first thing I intended to say was not like, oh, I accidentally cut it off. It was, man, it sure is hard to watch yourself. Like, God dang, I was just going, oh man, just shut up. Get off the screen, you idiot. Like the whole time. That's why I have trouble editing a lot of these things too. It's just because like I have to watch myself, and that is the ultimate punishment for me. But yeah, that Carson guy is extremely handsome. Yeah. That's not him, by the way.
Right, Carson?
No, that is me, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it. The old switcheroo, huh? Yeah. It's true, though.
Yeah. I agree with what you said. That, like, watching the interviews, I was just watching myself being like, that guy's an asshole.
I love everyone's interview but mine. Maybe it's just part of the.
No, the whole thing turned out really well. Like,
I mean, oh yeah, that's
I should mention too. I know that last part sounded like we were like on the payroll for Proacro. They did help us out with this thing. They did sponsor it. But honestly, like, I actually got to try their paints for the first time with this event, and I'm really surprised that I haven't used them before. I've always been using the Citadel paints, right? And then,
yep.
So
I actually got them on Vince Venturella's recommendation early days. I still have, because they used to be in smaller bottles. They used to be in like 15 milliliter bottles, and they were very hard to like get out. Right. And the quality wasn't as good. Even like it was still like the best one at the time, I would argue, but it's gotten even more consistent, and they're so good now. That they're my favorites by far. And if you're a big contrast guy too, by the way, you can get their transparent line, and they function even better than contrast for like using them like spraying them through an airbrush, because they're even more transparent. So they take to like what's it called, slap chop, right. A sketch style, whatever you want to call that, Parisian style painting of models, even better. Because it's even more transparent and it's less sticky than contrast paints. Not that, and I don't have any. I use contrast paints still. Oh, yeah. Sometimes there's just like a certain color that that you have that you really like. Like one that I have recently switched over finally to Pro Acryl. But there's one paint that I was using forever on all my leather, and that was Rhinoxide. I love it. And then recently I tried out their mahogany again. I was like, oh, this is actually even better. but there are still some paints that they make that I use even for Games Workshop. There's even like Vallejo that I still use. Green Stuff World, I've got some stuff that I use from them. Not paints as much, but and Duncan Rhodes, I've got a couple of his paints. Like I'll use whatever, but all that to say, like, to underline the fact that, like, I am being truthful. They are by far my favorite brand. I've been repping them since I first heard about them. Yeah.
I used it for, like I said, all the highlights and all my models. I actually use the Pro Acryl for. My base layers are usually what's it called? Malto.
Maltov. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot how to pronounce that. And because those paints like super. It's actually like for marker pens almost, right?
Yeah. They're that's the Badger airbrush line.
Is that
paints.
Badger?
Yeah, Badger. It makes the airbrushes, and then Maltov is the paints, but it's the same company basically.
They come with paint pens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because like I was using it from. They run really well through the airbrush. You don't need to thin them down.
Famously.
You actually need to make sure you put a little bit of thinner in there so it actually doesn't clog up your airbrush after a while, right?
Yeah, and
flow improver. That's what it is.
Flow improver. Yeah, that's really good to have. But also their primers are famous for having better adhesion.
Yes.
Because like regular airbrush primers don't have. Like if you get a rattle can, they actually have a chemical in there that sort of melts the plastic slightly, and so it sticks even better. And Maltov also has that, but so you got to be careful with your venting and where you do it and whatnot for the primers and whatnot. But it like absolute top quality for them as well. But
it's just the opacity of the paint. Like I don't actually even prime my models anymore. I just actually on it.
Wow.
Well, that's what the Marco uses, right?
Wow. I see. So
they hold up perfectly fine.
That's fair. I prime and do everything in my basement now, so I'm just I'm not gonna do that. But sorry. I was thinking of Steinelres when I said Badger. Okay. I'm sorry. Maltov is not them.
No, I didn't think they were, but I was
I wonder if the comments section maybe caught me. Nope. No one caught me. Oh well. I'm glad.
That's okay. So well anyway, they're really good. They're super opaque.
Right.
They work really well for they actually work really well as a base coat, like so you can prime your model with those colors. So
that's wild.
I'm usually just going straight up with either. I don't just use black anymore. I've been using like an actual a solid color for these the FEC models I did. I actually use purple as my base coat for it.
Oh, nice. Like a light purple.
No, it's actually like a dark purple, it's more like a mid-tone purple, but it covers the entire model, and then I do like a zenithal highlight of the blue over top of it.
Okay.
And it kind of like self shadows it, and and then as I said, I need like really.
It's like a cold zenithal almost.
Yeah. Because then what I do afterwards is I'll go to like the most extreme highlight with the airbrush, and then I dump oil paints all over it, right? And I've been using like actually colored oils. I started off just using black for a while,
right?
And now I use like everything to mix together to get blues, greens, whatever it is, and it
awesome
really enhances the models and makes them pop really nicely.
For sure.
And then once that dries off, just highlight with the Pro Acryl stuff now. So, which turned out really well because it actually adhered nicely, so you don't actually have to have too much paint on your brush at any given time, which is nice.
For sure. I was using like contrast and stuff before. And I found that like if I didn't put on like a pretty heavy coat of varnish, then when I did an oil wash, it just destroyed the paint job completely. Even like some of the GW regular paints. So I'm still kind of a coward with that stuff because you spend so much time on your paint job.
Oh, yeah, no,
you know what I mean? And then you put an oil wash on, you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm doing that all over again now. That sucks, but yeah. Yeah, man.
I haven't had any problems with it yet, and I actually don't even varnish before I put the oils on.
It depends on the paint you're using. Like for me too, I actually have like done it more now. I've tried not varnishing again, and I did get away with it so far with the Pro Acryl, but like it just doesn't take that long to varnish, like especially if you just do like a matte varnish or whatever. But you know, like I'm also moving away from using true metal more and more, and I'm doing like a lot more like non-metallic metal or like other kinds of things like that. And so like just a quick, because like it also makes your model more durable overall, you know, from being picked up and whatnot. So I'm kind of just doing that more and more. But yeah, like it's just kind of like I kind of want to do it anyway. So it makes even more sense when I'm going to be using oils and stuff. But
it's funny how your painting techniques evolve over time to be like just so different from what they were when you start, right? Like I remember like my first miniature, like having that GW white primer paint and like painting it on it, right?
Yeah.
And then like trying to like do as many layers as you could to get like, you know, the green on the wood elf cloak just so it would actually not be like streaky.
Right. Well, I mean, I remember like I used to follow along a lot with like the White Dwarf like articles on like how to paint certain things and stuff like that back in the day. But when I got back into the hobby, I was watching, you know, Duncan and co on the Warhammer you know, on the Warhammer TV YouTube channel, and just like, this is how you paint Seraphon skin, you know, like, okay, I'll just buy the paints that you tell me to buy and go along. And now I'm like, I do weird stuff and I kind of do my own thing. I never paint like along with the style unless it's, you know, specific to something that I want to do that I haven't done before or whatever. But yeah, like for your paint miniature exchange last year, I was like, I want to do like molten fire weapons, you know, and that kind of thing. And then I did it and I was super happy with how it turned out. And I got to learn something. And then I applied it to, I forget, something else that I ended up doing, you know? And so, yeah, I think it's a good way of like learning how to paint more and more things, is you kind of pick something you want to learn and you try it out on a project. And yeah.
The mini exchange is always a good project thing to do, so you can find something out of your wheelhouse, right?
Exactly. I you know what's funny is like I've been thinking about for the past year, like what I wanted to do for that, and then I thought of something. I was like, that's it. I picked it, and now I can't remember what it is.
I guess like for those of you that don't know, our game club does over Christmas time we do like a mini holiday gift exchange where you pick one model or a unit, paint it up, and then we do like kind of a Secret Santa type of gift exchange, whatever it is. So you don't know what people brought because there's random boxes and you draw numbers, all that stuff. So, and it's always fun to get a brand new model that you would never have had before that you can potentially use in a new army that you want to play with. Or what I end up doing all the time is I actually have a display of the models I've gotten, and I love looking at them because it's always fun to see what other people can do for you and stuff. So
yeah,
it's actually one of the fun things that, you know, I like to see you know, all the effort that people put into this just for the fun of it, just to give away something too, right? Most of the time you paint for yourself, you rarely paint for others. So
yeah, it's true. I'm really looking forward to it this year too. You know, I did remember what it was.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Just now. I'm not going to say what it is.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, you know, anyway, so, but yeah, I didn't get to go to the first one. I forget what happened. And then the second one, I painted up a mini for it, but I got really sick and no one wants, you know, Nurgle visiting for Christmas.
So. Miguel gave away a Dread Saurian.
Yes, that's true. Not a playable model, but very generous, very expensive. It's a real Forge World Dread Saurian that he used to play with. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? You're like talking about it. You given away 2 greater demons in the last ones.
Fair enough.
Real, yeah. You did a Lord of Change and what, a Keeper?
No, it was.
It was a Guo.
A Guo, yeah.
Yeah. It was a Lord of Change and then a Guo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not out of my wheelhouse, but I did do a completely different technique for how to paint that Guo compared to my last one I did. So
That's cool.
it was nice to try it out and see how it works. So.
This year you shouldn't do a greater demon. You should specifically do something small. Otherwise everyone's just gonna like actually, but then you did obfuscate which one was yours. So it didn't really matter in the end.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Eric got it, and what I did was I put it into I magnetized it, right?
Yeah.
So I put the arms into a tiny little box.
Yeah.
And I
That's
put
insane.
that into the draw.
Yeah.
And then so when I remember Eric opened it up and he's looking at it, and I got this feeling that he's like kind of like, oh, what, I got like parts of a model. I was like, oh wait, I forgot the rest of it.
Nice. Heck yeah. That's such a great idea. I think that's another thing that people should definitely, do in their local clubs. It's like really great camaraderie too,
And like just to be clear, the reason I give away stuff like Greater Demons, I've been collecting Warhammer forever. Yeah. I have like a store's worth of models sitting in my garage, like unopened, and this just gives me an excuse to get rid of it. I can't keep storing it forever.
Darren, Darren, you have way more than a store's worth of models. Like seriously, like
I have a problem, okay?
Way more. Like that's just AOS. You have probably like 2 stores worth of models here.
I don't know if you noticed, but like in my video, it was like that's the Grand Kathy Grandmaster in that.
Yes. Yeah, I did notice. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have one painted. I might have to start an army.
Ooh. Apparently people are really enjoying that army. And you could play it as cities too. Like that's right. What a lot of AOS players are doing. Just playing them as cities instead of actual Grand Cathay in the old world or whatever. So.
I was looking for like a knight model, like a knight heavily armored one, and I was having a hard time finding someone that really fit the aesthetic I wanted for that video. And then I saw that, and I was just like, oh man, I gotta buy that. So I did.
Well, and it's like the other option is to buy actual Bretonnia models that are old as you know what, and still yet expensive. So
I was going to buy a Bretonnia model for it.
Yeah.
But then I saw that, and then I was like, oh, maybe I can.
There's an excuse to get into another game system.
I mean, it was fun painting that model up. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah, it looks great. And the funny thing is too, is that like your like house scheme for like your LARPing and those different things is kind of the green.
Yeah,
it's not totally different than the Cathay Jade sort of theme that they have. So I think it looks great. Yeah. But I've heard of someone having a chip on their shoulder before. Dan has a whole bag of crisps. Dude, Dan's thing is like this unhinged rant. Like if I release the whole thing, it's basically just him ranting about elves the whole time and crapping on, or sorry, hating on elves and loving dwarves, with various mixtures therein.
But we all filmed for like 20 to 30 minutes each, just answering questions.
Yeah,
his entire time he was there.
Just a rant.
There was no serious answer given.
Yeah, yeah. It might be the best thing ever created, though.
It was really, really good.
Yeah. That's my plan, is to kind of just edit out the actual, either edit out the asking of questions or just edit out like the in-between stuff and then just release it as like a, a fun thing like that. Depending on like the kind of reaction to this whole thing, subscriber numbers or whatever, maybe we'll put it out there for free, maybe we'll save it for members, I don't know, or maybe we'll do like a member thing at first and then they'll come out for free or whatever. I'm not really sure, but we haven't had a chance to discuss it. But we've got those coming. We've got the Spearhead games coming, and then hopefully we're gonna start talking about like the hobby side of things, have some videos for that, and then we'll be going into the live games. I won't say who's versus who or whatever, but we got a lot of fun content coming. So I'm super excited for it. It's really helped me. I've been kind of dragging my heels a bit to get back into full paint mode, but this has really got me
dragging my heels to get into
yeah.
Okay, like I've barely played any games for this edition,
right?
Well, I've had a few, but like I haven't done any tournaments like I normally like to do, and it's just been taking me forever to get back into it. And this is actually a great way to actually start again. And
Yeah, I hope you do, man. We've got a few tournaments coming up too, so it's not too late.
Even Veronica was saying how she was like actually talking about wanting to get back into playing AOS again too. So
I miss you guys, Veronica, Alex, Eric, Andy Selwood. I'm sorry if I'm missing other people. Like there were other people involved too, but you guys were kind of like the pillars of the tournament scene for our like local area for Age of Sigmar.
we just like encouraged people to go. That was kind of it.
No, but like you did, and you went to all of them. You went to like Attack X back when that existed, and you went down to like the one in like what was it, T Shift or whatever back, like a whole bunch of them that like and like you were kind of like really supporting the scene. This is back before Carson was even a twinkle in his daddy's eye, like back in like 2000 like 18, or 19, like before he was even born. It was crazy. Yeah.
No, that was well, I've always done like I've always been into competitive war gaming.
That's true.
Before I got into Warhammer, and I was War Machine guy for 10 years.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah.
Darren did a demo game for me back when like I had just gotten into AOS like a few months before, and then he did a demo game for me, and he was very nice. I was having like I had a bit of a panic attack that day because like I wasn't used to it yet, and and like there was so many people in there, and it was really hot. And I was actually wigging out, and Darren was so nice, and he was just like, "Are you okay or whatever?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling so good, whatever." You're like, "Don't worry about it, like take your time or whatever." And I remember you were like, the dice were like favoring you so hard, and you were like, "This is such a terrible demo game," and you were like kind of like not happy about it or whatever. And I was like, I'm just trying to get a flavor for the game, and I was mostly like inside my own head about how I was being. And then like the dice did like a hard turn, and I had that troll guy who was like my leader. I don't even remember what they're called.
Troll Bloods. Yeah.
Troll Blood, but like I he's like the captain or whatever. Like
Madrak.
What's he called? Like what's the leader?
Madrak would be the guy.
Oh, okay. But I don't remember like
the Warcaster.
Warcaster. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So then he just came in there, and I like rolled like all sixes or whatever the heck it is, and just spiked and just killed your own war chanter work, whatever your general effectively, and then in War Machine that just ends the game, and it was just like that sure was something, and you're just like, yeah, like you're never out of it in War Machine. And so I ended up buying the box set, and then I played one game at Jason's house, Jason Rowe's house, after that, and then I never played another game of War Machine again. but yeah, it was fun. I've still got it somewhere.
It was good, and then they died out, and now they're coming back again, I guess, because Steamforged game. Yeah, so Privateer Press, I think, got bought out by Steamforged Games, which is good, because Steamforged Games actually has all of the old Privateer Press people that made the game really good back in the day.
Ooh, nice.
So,
nice.
It kind of, I haven't played any of the new edition of it yet, and probably won't, because I'm still more into Age of Sigmar, and honestly, Kill Team got me hooked really badly this year.
Right.
So I haven't been playing like Age of Sigmar, but I've been playing tons of Kill Team. So that was
you've been posting it. Yeah, you got me into it too. I got the Typhon box, the Tyranid one, the Raveners, and they're super cool models, but I haven't done anything with them since. Yeah.
I just picked up the new Tomb World one. I wanted the Death Watch.
That's Necrons and Death Watch. Oh yeah. You're always a Death Watch guy. Darren was always a Death Watch guy. Yeah. When I think of you in 40K, I think of Death Watch and I think of Grey Knights.
Yep, those are the two. Those are my two main armies. Those are my favorites. Nice. Like for Kill Team before that, I was playing like Blood Ravens, but because I love Dawn of War.
Nice. So. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I remember that too, actually. And didn't you have like the Scorpions, whatever they're called? Did I make that up?
No, that was Alex has that army.
Oh, Alex? Okay. Yeah. Oh no, I'm thinking of it doesn't matter. I'm thinking of another guy, Chris, if you remember him. Yeah. Anyway, that was like far down into like whatever the tributaries of nonsense that this channel is definitely known for, but not limited to. Anyway, so that's all the content we have to show you guys tonight. The videos will be coming out. What are your guys' thoughts going forward?
Like us?
In what regard?
Yeah, well, just like, what do
yeah.
you guys like? What do you like? Actually, here's a better question. What are you guys most excited for going forward in this campaign?
I'm excited to do the interviews, like of the next step of the way, because
Hell
that was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
And it was Kenrick doing a lot of work, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing I don't know is who's gonna edit the next one. You know what I mean? Because I mean, that's like, you know, the sort of the sticking point. And then
I'm hoping we can make them a little bit shorter, so it's not as long as that full intro one.
Right.
Like the idea is we're just gonna have a quick blab about like
that's true.
what we're doing for our next game system, or
That's
you know,
true.
like our,
If we do it individually too, we could just film it here, just zoom it in, and then I can edit that. You know what I mean? Like I'm planning on editing the other interviews and putting them up in one way or another.
Well,
But
as far as the structure goes, so everyone's fully aware, we're going to have those teaser videos come out, and then
Right.
followed by the interview, followed by the Spearhead games that we actually recorded. So we actually already played 3 Spearhead games, so we'll have those coming out.
Yeah.
From then on, we are going to have all the games are going to be done live.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier to produce them, so they'll be a little bit longer format. But you get to see us actually playing like a full-on battle report, like you guys normally do on your channel, right?
yeah,
Just
the new
with-
style. Yeah, exactly. The live battle reports, which are really fun. Nice try to dodging my question, Darren. What are you looking forward to most going forward?
In general, I'm looking forward. Personally, I'm looking forward to having a fully painted tournament army again.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to be able to bring that to our next event, whatever it's going to be locally. I don't know what is local. Probably something.
Red or Dead?
Bread or Dead. I'm not going to make that one. So.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
That.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's in what is it, Carson? You should know.
A week and a half.
A week and a half away. Yeah, October 4th.
Yeah, there's also Kippers, and then there's probably going to be another Richmond reroll in November, I'd imagine. So
nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lots.
I might try to make that one if I can. I'm going to Japan next month, so it'll be a little bit
that's fair.
tough to get some stuff ready to go for a tournament, but
very fair.
But in the meantime, you know, anything local for next year, I'm definitely looking to getting into it. And I hear we got a new War Scroll coming out soonish, right?
Yes, it's supposed to be tomorrow. Like the update. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I actually just got the FEC book too earlier this week. So.
Did you? Nice. It's so fun. It's so good. I've actually mostly been playing FEC lately. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing it. I'm not really playing any ghouls or anything. I'm mostly playing like flayers and like the nightly echelon one.
You've seen my list so far. It's pretty much like I'm running like as many nights as I can fit in the list.
And that's very valid and a good. I think it works. I think it's the funnest way to play it. the army right now. Yeah, and Terrorgeists and all sorts of bashy.
Yeah, I'll have to go to do a deep dive on the book so far. I haven't had a chance to do it, but I have a very long plane ride coming out, so I'll have lots of time to do it there.
AOS Coach has a video talking with I forget the guy's name, but like an FEC player of note, and I think that's probably one of the better. You know, he breaks down everything, and I think I thought it was quite good. So check that out. Awesome. I'm looking. Honestly, it's funny because Carson said that I didn't occur to me that Carson was going to be like, I'm actually looking forward to the interviews. Like I am too, because it's just kind of fun, you know, to kind of like talk about your plans for your army and sort of what you're thinking.
You don't normally get to hear everybody's process.
Yeah.
You know, from beginning to end on how they're building their army list, right? And you know, from painting and collecting and like choosing their lists for different levels and stuff like that. Like my lists, I've already had to change a whole bunch of times because this has taken so long for us to get going here that we've had like when I started this, I didn't have a book.
Right.
We were going off the
I mean,
cards,
FEC is
right?
like the newest book, but when we
Yeah.
when we started this whole thing, AOS 4 had just come out.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, so like no one
So we
had a
had-
book. Or
We
actually,
had the
Skaven did.
scrolls, and that was kind of it. And then
Yeah, exactly.
from there, like there was a whole bunch of war scrolls that came out as well that changed the dynamics of all the armies. And so
Yeah.
you know, I had a list I was all set to go ahead with, and I was getting ready to go ahead and start painting it. And then I had to scrap it because it turned into be like 200 points over because there's a big, massive boost to FEC.
Right.
Now I got to go look at the new book and see how that goes from there. But that's actually part of the process, and we'll be talking about that probably in the interviews on how we had to decide on to go from one to the other, right? So
It's true.
at least with Spearhead, it was good because it was that doesn't change. So,
That's true. I'm hoping that the battle scroll doesn't mess with my army too much because, you know, like I keep having to change what I'm gonna play. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be like, oh man, like not again. But
I should also mention that as we're building up for this, like the goal is to come up with a 2,000 point tournament army
that's true.
that we could take to an event and play with confidently. Maybe not necessarily win like, you know, top prizes or whatever, but you know, feel comfortable doing it and have a good showing at an event with, right?
Exactly.
So there's a little bit of there's a fun collecting part of it, and then there's the competitive side added in as well. So
Right. And we're also trying not to use like name character, god models, etc. until the final game as well.
the 2,000 points,
The
right?
2,000
So that's
points,
gonna be
yeah. I mean, sometimes like for some armies, like Nagash, like you can't do that essentially. But like, you know, but we're kind of, you know, a little bit of an honor system, and it's part of like the story or whatever that we're sort of creating and whatnot.
yeah, no, exactly, right?
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for joining us, Scotty. I think we're running. We're you know, we're gonna end probably pretty soon. Any thoughts? You know, like about like. Actually, oh no! Actually, I just asked you guys that pretty much. So, Carson's gonna drop this again. I had no idea, so that's super crazy. You're dropping the video tomorrow. At
5 p.m. PST.
5 p.m. He's giving us a window. What the heck? Okay.
Well, it's not a window. It's a specific point in time.
Yeah, no, or sorry, like you're giving us the, what's it called? Like the, I can't remember the term, but like the YouTube.
The premiere.
Yeah, the premiere date. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant to say.
Right.
You're giving oh my goodness, 5 p.m. Wow. Okay. Is it done?
Oh, yeah.
It's done.
Actually, there's one small bit that I want to add.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's done.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
You're getting ideas. You're just trying to one up us. It's like, oh, I could have done that too. That's fair.
Being realistic, look, the video itself is done. The intro and outro, I'm going to do something stupid.
Okay, awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, sweet. And then are you going to allow me to upload it onto the channel as well?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you mean before? No, you
No,
can't see it.
not before. I don't need to see it before. I'm happy to watch it with everyone else. I just mean at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Because we're putting the rest of them up there, but like you literally didn't tell us that you had done it until we were live. So I don't know the rules. Like at first I thought you were joking, and it didn't even occur to me that you had I didn't even know that you had filmed it or anything. So anyway.
Definitely film it after we finish the cast tonight. You know it, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be me like in my closet, like, no, I'm playing Slaves to Darkness, and it's 3 seconds long. Yeah.
I'm very happy. Like I'm looking forward to seeing your video, Carson.
Me too.
And I'm very happy with what everyone else did so far with theirs.
Me too.
Everybody's stuff has come together so nicely. I'm so happy that everyone is feeling passionate about doing this. I'm hoping that everyone that watches this as well, leave comments on all the videos. Let us know if you like it or not.
Yeah.
If I liked doing this so far, so I'm hoping that we can do it again. If it's popular enough, Rob, I'm sure you'd want to have it on the channel one more time.
Yeah.
So if
I
you guys
just
like
do.
it-
I promise. I'll make the solemn oath right here, right now. I won't play Skaven next time. I won't. I really won't, because that would actually be lame. Like Skaven's always been the first thing I've done at every iteration of my wargaming career. You know what I mean? Like back in the 93 when I first started playing, when I got back into the hobby, it's always been Skaven first and foremost. You know what I mean? So it felt, very appropriate to do this, to do Skaven as, the first like Tale of Four Gamers thing. And there's sort of a bit of, what do you call it? Like a dichotomy between like when me seeing Roy Barber here play them and reading those articles back in the day and now playing them myself. But I think I actually know what I'm going to play next for the next campaign. And I think Carson probably knows too. I'm not sure if Darren will know. I'll tell you guys after the stream. But I literally do have another army in mind that I will play, because
what that means is that if everybody likes what we're doing here, make sure you watch and like all the videos and leave comments and all that stuff. And,
absolutely.
Encourage
please.
us to make another series, because
it won't just encourage us to make another series. It'll get us more hyped up for making the content for this one as well. And you know what I mean? Because it's like, like I've done a couple other YouTube channels before. One was a wargaming channel, and it has like, it got like a little over 100 subscribers, and I was just like, webcam, like off the cuff, not really trying it or whatever, just doing it for fun. But the more you're kind of like going out into the void, the harder it is. But the more you get a reverberation back, and you know what I mean? And sort of you feel the hype coming back at you. Naturally, you're just going to be more enthusiastic. It's just human nature. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Honestly, if you don't like it either, leave a comment too. Just
like, let us know what we could do better for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get plastic surgery, so I don't need it. None of those comments. But other than my appearance and how grating my voice is, let me know. Like, if it's about the content that I can do, I can help with. So, yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
any thoughts before we go, guys? No,
I think we're
nothing for me.
Okay.
I think we said what we could so far, and I'm just hoping that
Absolutely.
everyone enjoys the series. And
Same here.
we have put a lot of work into this, and it's been taking a lot of time to come forward with, but I'm excited for it, and I hope that everyone else enjoys it as much as I enjoyed making it. So
Same here. Absolutely. Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We certainly enjoyed showing you guys tonight. We've been waiting a long time to show it, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.
thanks, Jess.